Good evening, fellow travelers. Welcome to the Quiet Hour, where we face what we've been letting grow. Tonight, I want to tell you about David, a drink that started as one glass of wine, and the moment he realized what he'd let take root. While he wasn't paying attention, David was 42, a marketing director in Portland, divorced 3 years, sharing custody of his 10-year-old daughter Emma. After the divorce, wine became his companion. Just one glass while cooking dinner. A normal, adult thing. Nothing concerning. Then it became to glasses, then 3. Then he was opening a second bottle some nights. But he had rules. Never before 6 p.m., never on nights he had Emma, never at work. Rules meant control. Control meant he was fine. His ex-wife Sarah noticed during custody handoffs. "Have you been drinking?" she'd ask, catching a whiff at 5 p.m. pickups. 1 glass an hour ago. He'd lie. She'd give him that look but say nothing. What could she say? He wasn't drunk, just always slightly buzzed. His sister Rachel called it out directly. "David, you're drinking every night. That's not normal." He'd laugh it off. "I'm a grown man having wine with dinner. Relax." But Rachel wouldn't relax. Dad was a grown man having wine with dinner too. Look how that ended. Their father had died of cirrhosis at 58. David had sworn he'd never be like that. He had rules. His father had no rules. But then David started breaking his rules. A drink at 4 p.m. Still after work. He reasoned. A drink on Emma nights. Just one. She won't notice. A drink before an important presentation. Takes the edge off. The morning Emma asked, "Daddy, why do you smell funny?" Everything should have changed. But David just switched to vodka. Harder to smell. Problem solved. 6 months later, his boss called him in. "David, I need to talk to you about your performance. You're late to meetings. You're distracted. Are you okay?" David assured him everything was fine. Went home and drank half a bottle. That night, Emma was staying over. David had promised to help with her science project. But after 3 drinks, he fell asleep on the couch at 7 p.m. Emma tried to wake him, couldn't, and called Sarah crying. Sarah arrived to find David unconscious on the couch, empty bottle on the coffee table. Emma terrified in her room. The custody hearing was devastating. Emma, asked by the judge if she felt safe with her father, said quietly, "I don't know. He sleeps a lot now." David lost primary custody. Now he got supervised visitation. Once a week. The look on Emma's face when he walked into those supervised visits, not fear, worse than fear, disappointment, sadness for him. That's what finally broke through. Not losing custody, not his boss's concern, not his sister's warnings. Seeing his daughter look at him the way he'd looked at his own father with pity, he checked into rehab that week, 30 days inpatient. That's where he met Dr. Chen, who asked him a question that changed everything. When did 1 glass of wine become a problem you couldn't control? David thought about it. It happened gradually. So, gradually I didn't notice. Dr. Chen walked him outside to the facility's garden, pointed at a seedling. "Pull that up." David bent down, plucked it easily. Now that one. A small plant. David pulled. Took a bit more effort but came out. That one. A bush. Maybe 2 feet tall. David grabbed it with both hands, pulled hard, barely got it out. Roots clung to earth. That one. Dr. Chen pointed at a young tree, maybe 4 years old, trunk thick as David's wrist. David tried. Pulled until his hands hurt. The tree didn't budge. "I can't," David said. "That's your drinking, Doctor." Chen said quietly. "It started as a seedling. 1 glass of wine. Easy to pull up then. But you told yourself it wasn't a problem. It grew. 2 glasses. 3. Still manageable, but harder. You felt the roots. Your sister warned you. Your ex-wife noticed. But you ignored them. Let it grow. Now it's a tree. And trees don't come out easily." David looked at that tree and started crying. Because he saw it the progression he'd denied. The small plant he could have pulled when Sarah first mentioned it. The bush he could have removed when his sister expressed concern. Now it was a tree, and it had cost him his daughter's trust. "Can I still pull it out?" David whispered. Trees can come out, doctor, Chen said. But it takes tools you don't have alone. It takes help. It takes admitting you can't do it yourself. And it takes time. David did the work. 6 months sober, then a year, then 18 months. The supervised visits became unsupervised. The disappointment in Emma's eyes slowly shifted back to love. His sister stopped looking worried. His boss welcomed him back to full capacity. But what David never forgot was that tree. How easy it would have been to pull when it was just 1 glass. How many warnings he'd ignored while it grew roots. How much it cost to finally admit he needed help pulling it out. Friends, what small plant are you letting grow right now? What habit have you noticed but told yourself isn't that bad yet? What's your 1 glass of wine before it became 3 bottles a week? Maybe it's your phone just checking social media, now can't put it down. Maybe it's resentment 1 comment you can't forget, now poisoning every interaction. Maybe it's avoidance skipping 1 workout, now haven't exercised in months. Maybe it's spending 1 impulse buy, now credit card debt you can't escape. It always starts small. That's how it gets in. And it always grows if you let it. That's how it takes over. The time to pull it is now, while it's still a seedling. Before it's a bush. Definitely before it's a tree. That's our truth tonight at the Quiet Hour. What are you letting take root? What needs to be pulled before it becomes impossible? Comment below. Subscribe as we keep pulling weeds before they become forests. Until tomorrow. Remember, every tree was once a seed you could have pulled with 2 fingers. Don't wait until you need a chainsaw. Pull it now, sleep well, drive safely, and tomorrow maybe check what's growing that shouldn't be. Good night, friends.